is filled with people who have a strong sense of morality and want to make a difference in the lives of others. However, it is a place where we are so busy with our personal lives that we often forget about the insignificance of most of our problems and the true suffering that exists in the larger world. When people hop on a van to mentor for the first time, they usually think something like, I have homework, I'm tired, but maybe this will help me get into college. At least these were my thoughts the first time I walked into Old State Elementary School my sophomore year. The building smelled like old cheese, and way too many of the second graders were wearing light-up Skechers. When I met my mentee, Samantha, I felt like I was looking at my 9-year-old self in a mirror. Samantha was wearing the same bulky skateboard shoes I had in 3rd grade, as well as pink skinny jeans, a splatter paint shirt with 50 peace signs from Justice, and dangly earrings in the shape of Converse. We immediately became close. Samantha hated playing organized sports with the other mentees, just like I hated elementary school PE class. In fact, when a hopeful boy told Samantha she could have the basketball, she responded, "Shut up, Jacob!" We spent Tuesday afternoons laughing, talking, and learning about each other's lives. I discovered that mentoring was actually fun. Samantha showed her appreciation for my efforts one day when she decided to make a special drawing for me with my name on it. When I was allowed to open my eyes and look at the whiteboard, it read, "I love you, Ment," with carefully drawn hearts as a border. I was touched. Although Samantha didn't know my name, the gratefulness she felt for mentoring was real. In conversations with Samantha and the St. Andrews mentors in my van, I learned about the difficult lives of the mentees. Many of their parents are separated. Sometimes one of the parents is in jail or has not seen his or her children for years. Some of the kids have disciplinary issues or lack academic motivation. Others just need a friend. I realized that although Samantha and I both enjoyed mentoring, Samantha saw it as more than a 1-hour-a-week obligation. For her, it was a refuge from all the parts of her life to which she did not want to return. St. Andrews is a bubble that is perfect compared to the rest of the world. Our school would be an incredibly selfish place if we did not make an effort to improve the lives of those in the Delaware community who do not have the comfortable existence we do. I participate in community service to help kids like Samantha, but also to make myself realize the true extent of my life's gifts. Because we often feel overwhelmed by our academic and extracurricular stresses, St. Andrews students should be exposed to the struggles of the outside world that are much greater than our own. In order to make full use of St. Andrews opportunities, students must know that the supportive intellectual environment we live in is not the norm, but the exception in modern American society. While community service helps those in need, it also changes the lives of St. Andrews students who, like me, did not initially understand that the opportunities St. Andrews provides are unavailable and often inconceivable to the vast majority of the world's population.
she is so excited about St. Andrews participating in the Mud Run for the 3rd year in a row. It's exciting to picture a crowd of St. Andrews community members stepping out of their comfort zones to be part of something bigger than themselves. You may also remember that at the end of her announcement, Ms. Ferrara added that she is also willing to give community service hours or letters to those of us applying to college. This is understandable given that many schools have community service requirements. However, I at least felt like everyone sitting around me laughed awkwardly or uncomfortably because this is almost a foreign concept. Do we need a reward or recognition for helping the community? Is that something we should expect or deserve? I think the novelty of those or similar questions that popped into some heads represents why we do service at St. Andrews. While some people might disagree with me, I believe that it is within the capacity of humans to act purely out of the goodness of their hearts. Although it may not initially seem like a complicated notion, the idea of altruism can be a hard concept to grasp. Can people really believe in or practice what the dictionary on my computer defines as disinterested and selfless concern for the well-being of others? 2 weeks ago, I didn't know that altruism was a word, but more importantly, I hadn't thought deeply about the role of service at St. Andrews. Now I am kind of struggling with the extent to which our actions are selfish. Can we do anything that's not at least a little selfish? For example, do we say hello to people in the hallway because it just makes us feel good to see them smile? And I've decided that I don't think so. I really do believe that it is possible for people to act purely out of concern for others. Tuesdays would be slightly more depressing if everyone's thought processes as they got up to go out into the community to mentor and teach were always, oh, I really don't want to, but this is going to help me get into college. David Foster Wallace gave a commencement address to the Kenyon College class of 2005 entitled This is Water that touched on the idea of self-centeredness in the world. In his talk, Wallace talks about the frustration he sometimes feels at the grocery store. His frustration mainly comes from having to deal with people being in his way. He says, quote, if I don't make a conscious decision about how to think and what to pay attention to, I'm going to be pissed and miserable every time I have to shop. Because my natural default setting is the certainty that situations like this are really all about me, about my hungriness and my fatigue and my desire to just get home. And it's going to seem for all the world like everybody else is just in my way. Wallace outlines the opposite of altruism, the idea that we naturally think about everything in relation to ourselves because we are the center of our own worlds. And it may be easy to sink into that mindset of self-focus when we go out to serve the community because it may seem like a burden to take the time out of our daily lives to serve others. However, as Wallace states, we do have the human capacity to change the way we think to a way other than our default setting by making a conscious decision not to think selfishly. We have the capacity to believe that serving our community is just the right thing to do. As Ms. Ramirez stressed last Friday at Convocation, St. Andrews is giving us an education that gives us freedom, and it is the really important kind of freedom that comes from learning how to be part of a community. Wallace also said in his address, quote, the really important kind of freedom involves attention and awareness and discipline, and being truly able to truly care about other people and to sacrifice for them over and over in myriad petty, unsexy ways every day. That is real freedom. That is being educated and understanding how to think. The alternative is unconsciousness, the default setting, the rat race, the constant gnawing sense of having had and lost some infinite thing. End quote. You may be wondering how or why this connects to the Mud Run, or the environmental rally, or service at St. Andrews in general, but I think Wallace's belief that we can consciously decide to break free of the default selfish state we are born into reaffirms my faith in the St. Andrews community. We do service at St. Andrews because we believe in our ability to help in big and little ways, and we are given the freedom and opportunity to do so. And it is the little things that are absolutely necessary. The 1 minute you spend helping a peer answer a math question, the 1 hour you spend enriching the life of your mentee just by showing up to see them each week, or the positive influence you can have on teammates just by starting a cheer. While you are not bringing about world peace by picking up trash on the side of the road, these little things are what make up the substance of our lives. They allow us to fight against self-centeredness and passivity. As Wallace said, the value of a real education, like the one that is supported by community service at St. Andrews, has, quote, everything to do with simple awareness Awareness of what is so real and essential, so hidden in plain sight, all around us all the time.
This is the time in our service when we share our prayers. We'll begin by saying together the Lord's Prayer. Our Father,
God of all, we remember tonight those who are in need, the captive, the refugee, the unemployed, the lonely and forgotten, the unfortunate, the sick, the elderly, people who are homeless and hungry, young people who have questions, feel left out, or that there is nothing to hope for. We particularly think of those whose lives intersect with ours, including the following programs:
Adaptive Dance,
Adaptive Aquatics, the Boys and Girls Club,
Andrew's Place,
Epiphany House, the schools and early childhood centers in the MOT area,
Special Olympics,
Family Health Incorporated,
Code Purple,
the Salvation Army,
the Blood Drive,
the AIDS Walk,
the Mud Run,
the Climate Change Rally,
Service Learning Trips,
the Habitat for Humanity.
Continue to open in us well springs of compassion, so that we might see your face in all who are in need. Help us to be a people with generous instincts and thoughtful action for the sake of the world. And all in the name of those who, like Jesus, became poor so that we might become rich. Amen.
Amen.
So I was looking for a quote today to sum up community service for you. And in searching for this quote, I realized the vast majority of people wrote as though service is a thing done for oneself, for one's sole or purpose. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, and a number of great people were right in addressing the powerful impact that service has on both the server and the receiver. But what they leave out is that one should not serve for the sake of oneself, but for the sake of another. Of course, the service we do benefits us as individuals, and this indeed is a good thing, but this cannot be our motivation. And we must serve solely for the good of others, and we must think only of others when serving. In the midst of this realization, I discovered a Jeff Warner quote that articulates this idea of selflessness far better than I have. He said, we are not put on this earth for ourselves, but are placed here for each other. If you are there always for others, then in time of need, someone will be there for you.
Amen.